Hey, listen, just a little pep talk, or me venting, whichever one, okay? So I was just sitting here and thinking, right? And I was thinking about my journey and my self evaluation, observing, and all of this stuff. And it just occurred to me like the more that I evaluate myself, the more that I dig into myself, dig into those layers and pull back those layers of me, the more I find it even more intriguing and interesting that I start to remind myself more of my mother or my father or my siblings, parts of my aunt, parts of my grandparents, parts of my cousins, whoever, right? And it made me think, you know those portions that we get from the people we're surrounded with the most that we may not like or we may not understand or we may not want to accept. It made me think like those are parts of ourselves. They gotta be. They gotta be. See, sometimes this is why I be feeling like I be wanting certain people to talk to, intellectual people, people who actually think and people who actually get doing the work on themselves, so that I could get like a deeper meaning, a deeper perspective into things. But I feel like I'm kind of spot on if you ask me. Like my intuition don't be lying when certain things pull into me. I go with it. And this is one of them. I was just sitting here and I was just thinking, I was like, like thinking about certain parts of my mother, my father, my siblings, and people that are closest to me that I surround myself with on a daily basis. And it was just like, I wonder, like, what are those parts? Why? What makes me not really like certain parts, or what makes me admire certain parts? And then as I think about me, because I am part of their creation, I am part of their, their journey, their life, and they're part of mine. It gotta be for a reason. Me personally, I believe we don't be in people's lives, especially long term, longevity wise, for no reason. Like there's always a reason, and there's always chances for you to grow and learn from these people. And I personally believe that these people are aspects of us, of ourselves, that either we have yet to tap into, or we have yet to really take the time to dive more into, or that we just don't like about ourselves and we try to repress and run away from. I feel like we're always surrounded by people who resemble us, insides of ourselves, either that we need to heal, that we need to learn from, or that we need to get the fuck away from and just stop altogether. Hence why they say you can learn from everybody. I believe you can learn from everybody, no matter the age, no matter the cultural difference, no matter the ethnicity, no matter where they come from. Like, I believe you can learn from everybody. And I was just sitting and just wondering, like, what if those parts of, the people that surround you, those sides of themselves that you may not like and you may not accept from them, are parts of you that you don't accept about yourself. You have rejected within yourself for a long while, and these are things that they're showing you, because some way, somehow, we need to come across things and or people and lessons and experiences that help us really understand how other people on the outside, like how the world views us. And the only way I feel like that can really happen, other than sitting down and doing some self-assessment, is actually interacting with people who shows you that side of you that you have yet to meet or deal with. And so when you meet that side, it's like, wow, so this is how I am. This is how I can be. Even if it's a person that inspires you, it's like you met that person and you interact with that person for a reason. So it becomes a sense of, so this is another part of me that I can dive into and I can become. Wow. And it's not on no, see, you have to really do the inner work with yourself in order to understand that it's never on no competition type shit, ever. It's not supposed to be that. It's always supposed to be a learning experience. So whenever you're in front of somebody, whether it's mother, father, sister, brother, uncle, cousin, grandparent, whoever, friend, it don't matter. Whenever you in front of somebody and they're displaying parts of you that you either like or dislike or want to figure out more of, that's how you know it'd be time for you to dive into yourself and do some self-assessment and some self-work, because they are portraying something that's a part of you. It's in you, not on you. I believe that we do not stand in front of people for no reason. I believe that we don't be surrounded by certain people for no reason, whether by choice or not. We don't. It's for a reason. And see, a lot of times, a lot of people like to take that reasoning as pointing fingers outwards instead of realizing them three that's pointing back at you. It always comes back around. It's a spin cycle. It's a pattern. And it always leads back to healing. It always leads back to self. It always leads back to doing self-work. If you understand what I'm saying, listen, if you don't, maybe you're not on that frequency yet and it's not time for you to understand, but you'll get there. I believe it. But if you do, if you know, you know. I was just sitting here thinking, and not only am I talking to y'all, but I'm talking to myself. Most importantly, I'm talking to myself. But I felt the need to record this, to talk to somebody else who needs to understand this too, because I feel like I don't be the only person thinking like this. I just don't get out and talk to people enough to understand if I'm the only person or not. But so I recorded this video, and hey, if it comes across you or you come across it, then baby, tap in, tune in with self. Your mother, your father, whatever parts of them is in you. It's not on you, I promise you. And if you don't like something that they do, or a lot of shit that they do, that means it's a part of you that you don't like. Either that it's time for you to tap into and work on. And listen, the more you work on self, the more you become aligned with your true frequency, and you start outgrowing certain people and moving exactly to where you belong. I promise you. It's a process. It's not an easy one, but it's doable. But that was just a thought that I had on my mind. Like, every person that stands in front of us is a part of us, whether we like to think about it or not. Even the winos we may go and talk to, even the drug addicts, like, these are parts of us. We all have addicting personalities, whether we like to accept it or realize it or not. We all have addicting personalities. You could be addicted to anything. You can be addicted to people, shopping, drug habits. It don't matter. We all have addicting personalities. You could be addicted to working out. It don't matter what it is. Good, bad, negative, positive. We all have it. Listen, this life, this matrix, this game is nothing more than just about evolving, growing the fuck up, being emotionally intelligent, getting control over yourself. Because I don't know who need to hear this or not, but it don't matter who it is. It can be children. It can be your spouse. We have control over nobody. Nobody. Placing your hands on somebody ain't gonna work. Yelling at somebody ain't gonna work. It may mask a situation for a second, but it's not going to remain long term. That's not being worked as far as longevity. That's not being worked in longevity mode. That's being worked to mask. Put a band-aid on something. It might work for a second, but that child, that spouse, that whoever it is that you feel the need to place your hands on or yell at or whatever the case may be in order to scare them into doing what you want, they're going to go right back to doing what they want to do, whether it's in front of your face or behind your back. So be mindful of that too. We have control over nobody, just ourselves. All we can do is continue to self-evaluate, take lessons and learn from people and pour them into us even more, so that we become better. And as we grow, as we evolve, as we align with where we need to be, the right people, places, things, and habits are going to come willingly, inevitably. That's a part of manifestation. So, listen. My words may be a little jumbled or whatever the case may be, but if you know, you know. And this is for the ones who know. And this is for the ones who understand and are on their way to knowing and learning, okay? So, that was my written session. Until next time, I'll be back. Bye.